Hey guys, this is Kasim with Solutions 8. I'm the founder and CEO of Solutions 8. I'm also the author of the 7 Critical Principles of Effective Digital Marketing, which is a book that you should buy. Today I want to talk about lead qualification. Here's the thing. We do a lot of lead generation. That's kind of one of our primary core service offerings. So our AdWords group is in the top 3% of all AdWords providers for performance and customer care, which means we knock AdWords out of the park. I'm doing the Facebook Outbreak session for Icon 17. I did the one for PartnerCon. We speak on Facebook all the time. Short version of a long story, if you don't mind the edification, is we know what we're doing when it comes to lead generation. However, we still get clients who say, hey, the leads aren't qualified. And sometimes they're right. That's feedback that we need to listen to, and then we adjust our campaign accordingly. Sometimes we adjust the targeting, sometimes we adjust the narrative, etc. But one of the pieces of feedback that I give my clients, the pushback I give my clients on a pretty consistent basis is, how quickly are you getting back to the leads? This is massive. I can't overstate the importance. And I want to use data to help support my assertion. So this is something that I'm pulling from leadresponsemanagement.org. This is a study that was done by a faculty fellow at MIT in conjunction with InsideSales.com. They examined 3 years of data across 6 companies. And these are all companies that generate website leads. So this is online digital marketing leads specifically. This is over 15,000 leads and 100,000 call attempts. So this is a pretty good sample size. We can trust the information here. If you're looking at the little screen that I'm on, when you don't call a lead within the first 5 minutes, your ability to get a hold of that lead decreases by over 10 times in the first hour. So if you can call somebody within the first 5 minutes, you're 900% more likely to get in touch with that prospect, to get in touch with that lead. And then that number just plummets. Now, that doesn't say that doesn't mean you're never going to get a hold of them, right? But now you're in this horrible follow-up phone tag game that you don't necessarily have to be in. Now, some clients say, I don't have the infrastructure for that. Here's what's interesting. This is my pushback: is you can't afford not to do that. So if you don't have a person, hire a person. It, as you can tell from the data, will justify itself almost immediately. If you were qualifying, if you were getting a hold of 900% more of the leads that you were being sent and qualifying those leads more effectively, it stands to reason that you could afford the infrastructure is necessary in order to do that. If you still can't afford it, if you say, hey, we're too small, we're actually not generating enough leads for that to even be an issue. 900% doesn't apply to us because we get 10 leads a day. Hire a call center. Go to one of those mobile answering guys. Go to hiremymom.com and find a work from home person that is willing to pick up the phone and qualify and edify and do all the stuff that is necessary for the sales process. But get a hold of these people, and you need to get a hold of them within 5 minutes. That's the rule. There's a 5-minute rule with lead qualification, and it's a rule that nobody can break. I don't care what industry you're in. This was across 15,000 different leads that were being generated. So the first one is you have to call them within the first 5 minutes, and they're more likely to be contacted. But here's the better part: if you call them in the first 5 minutes, they're more likely to be qualified. Which is interesting, right? Like, what changes after 5 minutes? But I think getting a hold of somebody when it's fresh in their mind, and they're excited about it, they remember doing it, they know who they contacted, and they probably remember you and your brand, because oftentimes, especially with paid advertising, people go to the first ad, they fill out the form, they go to the second ad, they fill out the form, they go to the third ad, they fill out the form, and at a certain point, it all becomes white noise. And it's like, yeah, I'm sure I reached out to you, I don't really remember, what have you got to say? Where if you can get to them in the first 5 minutes, there's oh, wow, that's interesting. Reaching out to a prospect too doesn't just mean that you've been able to touch them. You want to touch them in a relevant way. So putting them on the phone with a salesperson, I think, is one of the best ways to do it. You're not always going to be able to do that. And of course, we're talking about bottom of the funnel leads here. Don't go call your top of the funnel leads. That's not only a breach of etiquette, but you're going to scare people away. But leads that come in that want to be contacted, you need to get to them within 5 minutes, and you need to make sure that the interaction you have with them is relevant. So don't hop on the phone and say, hey, I'm a little busy right now. Can we schedule something for later? That might be a good worst case scenario, but you're not really investing in that relationship. You're not establishing yourself as a value provider. You've just gotten a hold of them and then put them off, which probably maybe even potentially puts a bad taste in their mouth. So have a process, have a pitch deck, have a qualification form, have something you can put them through, or a little bit of pushback to give to them. One of the things that we ask clients is, hey, before we get started, we just want to make sure that you have the ability to scale. That happens on our very first phone call. It's not the first thing out of my mouth. But what's nice about it is it lets people know, oh, wow, these guys are serious. I only want to work with clients that can scale, because we put so much time, effort, energy, and money into building these campaigns that if you have a ceiling, you're going to kill my profitability, and there's an opportunity cost for digital marketers. So one of the questions we ask is, hey, let's talk about your scalability. What's your closing ratio? If we, were to generate a ton more business for you tomorrow, how much more of that could you take before you had to scale up? If you do have to scale up, what capabilities do you have that allow you to do that? That sort of thing. We're really soft, very respectful, but it gives us the opportunity to position the conversation in a way that we want, that's helpful for us to qualify the lead. And it also lets us know that we're badasses. We're capable of opening the floodgates and we can do this, but we need to qualify you first. Do those types of things on these calls. Make sure that you're getting a hold of these people. The 5-minute rule is an absolute must. And again, if you have to restructure things in your organization, change compensation. We know an organization, they're a property wholesaling company. They do fix and flips and wholesales, that sort of thing. 50% of their salespeople's commission is tied to initial lead intake. 50%, half of the commission is tied to the initial lead intake, which is huge. And there's a reason for that. It's because the initial lead intake usually dictates who's actually going to get the lead, especially in a competitive market like that one. So if you need to change your business model, change your business model. If you need to hire somebody, hire somebody. This is one of those things that we can't afford to make compromises on. I'm not going to beat a client up over it. If they don't want to do it or they can't do it, that's perfectly fine. But what my clients need to understand is if they come to me and say, hey, the leads aren't qualifying, the leads aren't closing, there's obviously some truth to that. I'll never discard somebody's concerns. But one of my pushbacks is always going to be the data says that if you can qualify the leads within the first 5 minutes, it's going to be a more effective lead. So of course, if there are things on my end that I can do, I absolutely will. But there are things that you can do on your end too, and you need to do those things. This is important to me if you can't tell. I really want people to be successful, and I want the work that we do to show, to merit kind of a pat on the back. To be honest with you, we want to keep people, and so this is a synergistic relationship always with the clients that we have, and it's really important that we're able to kind of dip into their process or your process and make sure that we can coach to that end. So the 5-minute rule is a new lead intake rule. Make it happen. Talk to your executive staff, talk to your partner, talk to your sales team, talk to whoever, talk to yourself. If you're the guy, if you're the gal, if you're the person who's doing the lead intake, get to a lead within 5 minutes. It's not going to happen every single time. We know that. But if you can make it happen a tax relevant number of times, you're going to be 900% more likely to contact and then qualify that lead. I hope this was helpful. I truly, if you think my content's helpful or entertaining in any way, please comment, like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. If you have any questions, hit me in the comments. I love nothing more than a collaborative conversation. It lets me know I'm not just talking to myself in my office, because that would be sad and pathetic. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.